Hello, UCDA Design Education Summit. My name is Mi-hyun Kim, Assistant Professor of Communication Design at Texas State University. The title of this talk is Incorporating User-Centered Design Methodology and Emerging Technology into Pedagogical Practice. This talk will share how the full circle of research, design, prototyping, user testing, and iteration come together in a classroom setting within the context of design pedagogy, hands-on activity for practicing collaborations, and putting the diverse users at the center of interactive design projects. How design students may implement emerging technology like augmented reality in their graphic design methodology and showcase these classroom outcomes. User-centered design methodology. When I teach interactive design courses, there are few frameworks I introduce in classroom, such as IBM Design Thinking Field Guide, the Field Guide to Human-Centered Design by IDEO, and the Design Sprint by Google Venture, an Inclusive Design Toolkit by Microsoft. IBM Design Thinking Field Guide is a framework for design thinking re-envisioned for modern enterprise. The Field Guide to Human-Centered Design by IDEO is a design kit to offer problem solvers of any stripe a chance to design with the communities. The Design Sprint by Google Venture is a 5-day process for answering critical business questions through design, prototyping, and testing ideas with the users. Inclusive Design Toolkit by Microsoft aims to create products that are physically, cognitively, and emotionally appropriate for the greatest number of people with a wider range of abilities. In my interactive courses, I choose one of these design methodologies depending on a project. If a project is about creating commercial-driven product, IBM Design Thinking Field Guide or Design Sprint are more suitable. If a project is a community-based assignment that educate the community members, evoke behavior change, and create positive impact, the field guideline to Human-Centered Design by IDEO fits better. The Inclusive Design Toolkit can be used for any design projects, and I will describe this process during Project 2, Designing for Service or Wayfinding a Digital Product in Physical Space. Research. Project 1, Mobile App for Storytelling, Mermaid Tale, mobile app using augmented reality to preserve San Marcos, Texas history. Mermaid Tale is interdisciplinary projects creating a location-based mobile app using augmented reality and animation to engage visitors and local residents in exploring and preserving the history and culture of San Marcos, Texas. The project was in partnership with the city of San Marcos, Texas, to digitally preserve the city's heritage and quirky history of Ralph the Famous Swimming Pigs, mermaid performers, and being longest continuously inhabited site in North America. The entire class researched together and designed individually. We used the Field Guide to Human-Centered Design by IDEO as it works best for community-based projects. I'll highlight student outcome for each steps so you can see the process in action. First, we interview experts. In order to deeply understand the community member we are looking to serve, we start the project by interviewing the city officials and underrepresented community members. The key questions were, how do you preserve the history of your community? What story does each mermaid statue represent? Do you think your community is well represented in history? What do you think would be the best way to utilize this digital technology to empower your community? And as a group, we created target personas, and there were 5 groups. Former mermaid performers, Texas State University's students and educators, children 9 to 13 years old who live in San Marcos, Texas, tourists, mostly family, underrepresented community groups. And we created goal statements. We need to preserve, engage, educate, and explore history of San Marcos, Texas, as we are losing its unique identity and recent flood have ruined historical artifacts. How might we questions? Convert the goal statement into how might we questions to find opportunity for design. How might we keep the app educational and engaging, not just text-based? How might we make the map and location of information accessible and easy to follow? How might we get the community members actively involved in posting and sharing their own stories? How might we make history fun and interactive? And these were the questions, the piles of questions we ended up having. In Brainstorm, brainstorm for innovative idea to energize the student, promote openness, generate lots of ideas, and focus on creativity. The ideas were utilize augmented reality to create animations on or around each mermaid statue as it represents a part of San Marcos history. Create illustrative characters to guide through an app. Apply scavenger hunt to allow the user to find each statue and earn points to redeem at local business. And decide. As a group, individual students, the city officials, and myself voted for the best top 3 ideas. Chosen ideas were AR, augmented reality, a gaming aspects of an app, such as a scavenger hunt, and illustrative characters. Design. The first step for design is to create low-fidelity prototype to visualize the idea easily through sketches. And after they create these visuals, they do create design system. So they create repeating and reusable parts of the interface, such as logo, buttons, colors, grid systems, icons, and typography. And they digitize the prototype using Adobe XD, InVision Studio, Sketch, or Figma. Create design system that would be scalable, consistent, efficient, and accessible when it expands to other platforms. And after they digitize their prototype, they get feedback. This is not from Mermaid Tail projects because I forgot to screenshot the student's link. But this is how it looks like. They share digitized prototype link with their classmates and conduct a silent process critique. And they integrate their feedback and revise. And then they share the link again to the potential users to get feedback on what they have made for them. They integrate feedback and prepare for a final presentation. In their final presentations, as a group conducted research together, they present their research process as a group. And for visual design, they are asked to make 3 to 4 minute videos with a voiceover explaining the process and design goals. The video has to walk through their design journey and showcase the final interactive prototypes. And these were the outcome. And I won't play every single prototype. And there are more presentations. Project 2, Designing for Service or Wayfinding, Digital Product in Physical Space. This project requires students to create a kiosk design for a physical space in which the students can visit to study the surrounding environment and observe user behaviors. Physical spaces can range from hotel, museum, elderly care, hospital, airport, restaurants, offices, and stores. Each group consists of 2 people. Each group research and design collaboratively, working on the same vision and goal for their ideas. We used the IBM Design Thinking Field Guide and Inclusive Toolkit by Microsoft for the projects, since the end project should be implementable based on real problem they find. The example that is used in each step is to design a kiosk at the Children's Museum in Austin, Texas. The first step, they visit the site, observe, and take notes. And to cluster the identified people into 3 main groups. Those 3 groups were parents, kids, and museum staff. Empathy map. The empathy map helped synthesize the team's collective knowledge about the users as a team, bringing them closer to common understanding of who their users are. So user persona, Ellie, 34 years old, occupation, elementary school teacher, interest, art, gardening, baking, reading, goals, spending quality time with the family, takes kids to do fun activity like a museum, park, and library, provides her kids with more engaging learning experience they enjoy. Leah, 6 years old, first grade student, personality, curious, outgoing, playful, interest, dancing, puzzles, science, mermaids, Disney, YouTube, Play-Doh, and slime. Favorite subjects, science, reading, technology. Challenges, short attention span, wear glasses, easily frustrated, struggle with the confidence, and she has autistic spectrum disorder. And they create the user flow map, lay out the user's movement through the product, mapping out each and every step the user takes from entry point right through the final interactions. So there are 3 parts of digital product: entrance kiosk, exhibit kiosk, and an app. And they create needs statement. So their needs statement is Ellie needs a way to inspire Leah to seek knowledge through educational space that nourished curiosity so that she continue engaged and believes that she is the future leader. So since the Leah has this ASD, which is autistic spectrum disorder, they had to study about autistic spectrum disorder and has to also research about logistic barriers and social barriers. And they had to recognize exclusion on certain group and learn from diversity and solve challenges they face and extend to other group by focusing on what is universally important to all humans. So after those research, their UI solutions were they need more contrast between type and background, but they have to use a softly mild color when it's possible. And they have to use a text in single column because they tend to get overwhelmed really quickly. And they had to avoid bright color and avoid horizontal scrolling and allow user to personalize type size and style and line spacing and color. And progress bar on time-consuming activities. And they have to have an easy-to-follow navigation with a clear indicator of where the user is. So the design step is the same as the first projects. They create low-fidelity prototype to visualize the idea easily through sketches. And this is for entrance kiosk. And this is for the app. And this is for exhibit kiosk. And they create design systems. So they created illustrations, their characters, typography, talk about icons and buttons, and also colors. And also they talk about QR code and what the buttons are going to look like and what's going to be their chosen illustrations. And they digitalize the prototype. And these are the entrance kiosk. And this was for exhibition kiosk. And this is how they envision this product to be implemented at the museum. And this is for the app. This is for the tablet. And for final presentations, he created 3 minutes videos.
KidSpace is an interactive children's museum whose main goal is to inspire future leaders to seek knowledge through an educational space that nourishes curiosity. By using play as a fundamental avenue of learning, KidSpace is redefining what learning looks like. A kiosk and app system was designed to reinforce this mission. When thinking about a children's museum, I designed for 2 primary audiences, children and the adults accompanying them. I broke that down a little further and started thinking about children who are neurodiverse or have visual or hearing impairments. After doing some research, I found that a lot of museums have special accessibility hours. The effort is there, however, it still creates a sense of segregation and otherness. I came up with a few design solutions that would allow information to be given in ways that are accommodating. One of those ways would be through a clean interface that doesn't rely too heavily on color or decoration, since overstimulation is one of the main triggers for children on the spectrum. Another trigger is unfamiliarity, so I tried making the interfaces as clear and easy to navigate as possible. While visiting a children's museum for observation and research, a major pain point was noticed. Children were more focused on playing at the exhibits than viewing the information. In addition to that, there was barely any parent-child interaction. Parents are the main vessel of information, so that's an important part. After several interviews, user personas and journeys were created. A user flow through the kiosk and app system was created to really design for our targeted users. After wireframing and user testing, a prototype was created. The first kiosk is designed to scan e-tickets to avoid long wait times. Once tickets have been scanned, users will be able to view their order summary. Once users move past the welcome kiosk, they'll encounter the exhibit kiosks. I've added accessibility features to each exhibit kiosk to make information presented in a way that's digestible for everyone. In this example, the color palette is softened to avoid overstimulation. The exhibit kiosks are designed to present information in an engaging way while reinforcing the idea that learning is rewarding. After children view the kiosk video, a screen will pop up that they can scan using the KidSpace app to earn points for viewing the information. A station summary will be presented to them so information is easily available. Users can test their knowledge on the station that they visited to earn points so they can earn a reward at the end. There will also be more interactive kiosks. This example allows children to use their imagination to create their own story. Once users choose their preferred topic, they'd be able to fill in the blanks using a word bank provided. By using play as a fundamental avenue of learning, KidSpace aims to spark joy and make learning fun.